Hey everybody, this is Sean V. Bradley, president of Dealer Synergy and the creator of the Millionaire Car Salesman Group, and I'm super excited because I'm here in New Jersey, where we're based out of in Freehold, New Jersey, at Raceway Kia with the GSM. Vlad, man, I gotta say, Vlad, this is an honor to be able to interview you, brother, because what you've accomplished here is just kind of surreal at a Kia dealership. So before we get into it, tell everybody a little bit about you, Vlad.
So I'm been in the car business for just about 23 years. Worked at many different brands. Started out as a porter. Mm-hmm. Within my first 30 days, the GM looked at me and said, "You're not going to be a porter. You're going to be a car salesman." And here we are, 23 years later, and top in the region. We were finished in the top 40 in the country last month, and continuing to grow, man. Just doing what we do.
So when you first took over this store, what was the units, total units delivered from the showroom versus the internet?
We were doing probably a total, the store was doing, I think, right around 80 to 90 cars, of which maybe 30 was internet, 50, 60 were fresh ups.
Okay, and so when you came here, usually when a manager comes into a new dealership, they have to stabilize, they have to, readjust. What was your thoughts? Were you like, well, I'm going to take this thing to what it is today, or did you think that it was going to be incremental growth, or what was your plan when you first got here?
My plan when I first got here, I was, number one, I'm from the area. Mm-hmm. I'm very familiar with the market that we have here, so I knew also about this store prior to the old ownership, mm-hmm. and I knew what they've had in the past, and I know what the potential is. So I knew I'm going to come in here, build a strong team, and do what we do best, is sell cars and make people happy.
All right, so take us through the first year here. So you went from the 80, 90, and 30 on the internet to what? The first year?
First year, we were consistently every month in, month out, growing at about a 20% pace. Mm-hmm. First year, I was really focusing on getting the right team around me, people that I believe have the same vision as I do, which is growth and always seeing beyond what you currently have, always believing that we could have a little more in us and we could achieve a little more and get there. So my first year was really focusing on getting the team together.
Okay. When did Dealer Synergy come into play?
I think you guys came into play beginning of last year. Yeah. I would say beginning of 19.
Okay. So it's been one full year.
Full year.
Okay. And so when we came in, what was the dealership doing and what was the internet doing?
So I think we weren't as organized with our BDC department. Right. And I think there wasn't much focus into that area as to what are we really driving from BDC versus front end. But I would say we were still doing probably 60% floor traffic versus 40% BDC.
So the numbers that I remember were around 58 to 62 units from the internet department when I first got here. I don't remember what the floor was, so if that's the case, then you're probably looking at what? 130 cars, something about.
That's what we were averaging about last year.
So last month in August 2020, you hit a new milestone. Tell everybody what that was.
So last month we did 187 cars. 151 were new Kias.
How many from the internet department?
I think it was a 132.
32?
I thought it was 132, 142. It was definitely around 80%.
We'll find out from Carmelo when we go back there in a second. Okay. So the punchline is that in 3 years, or a little bit less than 3 years, you added 100 cars a month to the dealership. So it went from, actually more than that, 107 cars. Because if you were at 80 cars before, and then you're at 187, and you did it in a pandemic, okay, so how? That's what everybody wants to know is, how do you take a single point Kia dealership that's only doing 80 cars a month and more than double it at 107 cars a month? That's insane, dude.
I keep it simple. I stick to the basics.
What are the basics?
Okay, and my basics are number one rule I have is nobody leaves this building without a manager talking to the customer. I don't care what they do, how they do it. I believe that's one of my biggest strengths in talking to a lot of people in the industry. You know, a lot of the managers are a little too busy to say hi to a customer. They're a little too busy to really look into a deal and see, hey, can we maybe move some money on a trade? Can we somehow maybe change the terms around? Just to go that extra mile to try to make that 1, 2, 3 deals. And those deals equate to 30, 40 deals a month at the end of the month.
I got a question for you then. So let's turn this into a training opportunity right now, okay? Because I know you're about that life. So let's just say that I'm the prospect, Sean Bradley. I'm coming in on a 2020 Kia Sorento, right? Your salesperson just came to the desk, which is right over there, and was like, look, Vlad, this guy's about to walk out. So if you sit down, can you role play for me?
Sure.
Walk in. I'm on the camera. The dramatic. Like I'm sitting at the desk. And let's role play. Don't tell me what you're gonna do with the role play. So how do you come in as
Hey Sean, how you doing? My name's Vlad Frenkel. I'm one of the sales managers. I heard we're getting the new Sorento cleaned up for you, right?
Actually, no. I was about to head out of here.
All right, it's all right. Well, let me talk to you for a little bit. Just find out, make sure Casey did a great job with you today.
Okay.
Did he leave any questions unanswered for you?
No, just the price is a little bit crazy. Like that's way more than what I thought it was gonna be.
So is the price the only concern? You like the car?
Yeah, I love the car. Are you kidding me? It's absolutely gorgeous, but it's no offense, it's not a Mercedes, so it's kind of expensive.
It's not a Mercedes, but it is a Kia. Kia is almost like a Mercedes today in today's day and age. So,
okay, fair enough.
Sean, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, we're here to help you out, and I can tell you that if price is your concern, I'm going to start getting this car clean because I'm going to make it work for you.
You really think you can do that?
I'm not worried. I know I'm going to do that for you.
Okay. Now, if I had other concerns besides price, like I like the car a lot, but I like black. You know what I mean? You only have a blue one in stock right now.
So I don't know if Casey told you we have 7 other Kia dealerships.
No, I didn't know that.
So we have access to over 1,000 different vehicles.
Oh, wow,
I have a main storage facility down in Burlington that I'm pretty sure color options. That's the least of my concern.
Okay, so this is perfect. So see that right there? This was not planned. He didn't even know what questions I'm asking, and then to turn around and just throw that in. Vlad, I agree with you. I think that, being in the business for 22 years myself, what I find is that a lot of times we skip steps. And the cardinal rules from when I started selling cars in 1998, 1999 area was do 100% product presentation and 100% demonstration drive and 100% TO. Now, one of the most important cardinal things for you is a TO. How do you train a salesperson to do a proper TO? So if I'm saying to you, Vlad, okay, look, you're my boss. You say I got a TO to you. What do I do if somebody's running out? And this question came from the Millionaire Car Salesman Group. One of the questions is how do you turn around and get a TO when somebody's about to walk out the door?
So number one, the most important thing is we need to have control of the customer from the second that they walk into the store, and them running out should never be the case.
Okay.
We should always have control where a customer is not going to just run out the door. In that case, I always make sure I have a floor manager on the floor that's always lurking, keeping the eye out if that occurs, but it's very rarely. So I'm very, very process driven. Mm-hmm. I have steps that these guys must follow without any deviation, and if they follow it, there's no scenario where a customer just runs.
It's the road to the sale you're talking about, right?
The what?
The road to the sale.
It's the road to the sale, yes. So we have we have that road to the sale, and then we have certain steps to make sure that the customer doesn't just say, I'm going to leave it and just walk out and run out on you.
That's strong. Okay, so for what I'm hearing is, first, it's the cardinal rule that nobody leaves here without a manager TO. Strong. Second, to reinforce that, he has a process that he put into place that systematically ensures that's not going to be a case, like, opt-out type of thing. And then to ensure that, an extra layer, which I like, is having a floor manager that's constantly on point, lurking, to make sure, just in case if somebody slips through a salesperson's clutches, so to speak, that they'll be able to engage and convert. Okay, now, can you give advice of what is the best way to set up for TO? So if I'm your salesperson and you're training me, like doing a one-on-one, you're like, Sean, look, you need to step up your TOs because, you're a good kid, but, you need to get us involved a little bit sooner. Advise the audience, how does a salesperson properly set up for a TO?
So proper TO, we have a couple of different scenarios that can happen. And, my number one question when I'm with a salesperson is, have we went through the steps, showed them the car, drove the car, as you were just discussing. But the most important thing is the customer committed to take this car home right now? That's going to really determine what kind of TO we're going to be doing. Okay. So I'm a firm believer. I really don't like talking numbers with customers until we know that they have the car picked out, they love the car. And besides the price, there's nothing going to stop them from taking this particular vehicle home today. Right. So the biggest thing that I train the guys is, let's focus on explaining to the people what and who we are. Tell them about how many dealerships we have. Tell them about what we do for them. Tell them about our lifetime car washes, free services, pulse that we offer in the vehicle. And really focus on selling us as an organization, selling us as the brand, and before any type of TO starts happening, getting that commitment's the key of how it's going to happen. But if we're at the point where you're with a customer that didn't give you a commitment, I'm going to send you in on a TO to see what are we missing? What's that little piece that's going to say, yes, Raceway Kia is the dealership for me. Right. If we're doing a price TO, at the end of the day, I believe a closer's job is just get me a commitment. When you go out there, just what's that number that they're going to be driving this car home at?
So let's go through this scenario right here, because what he's saying is the value package proposition, which I agree 1,000%. But let's just say that I'm the salesperson, you're the prospect. We're at my desk and we're going through the customer worksheet. I'm qualifying you. I'm getting different details, and everything's fine there. We select a vehicle. I do a full features and benefits product presentation. I even get to a demonstration drive. However, when we come back, all of a sudden you're squirrely. You're like, I gotta go. You know what I mean? And then how do I turn around and kind of pause you while I go get a manager?
Sean, listen, just please give me 1 second. I have to, it's my job. I have to have a manager say hello to you. I just want to make sure that I did my job and answered all your questions. So just give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
So folks, you see how easy that is? The thing is that there's so many excuses that people say, salespeople, weak salespeople, that they can't get somebody to say. It's not that hard. If you go into it like you're doing something dirty or you're being shady or you're fearful, it's not going to happen. If you do what he just said and articulate, this is my job, I have to turn around and make sure that one of my managers, says so too. At the end of the day, you can't stop somebody from bolting out the door. But I honestly don't think it's that difficult. Like people,
they don't leave. If it's done the right way, the reality is this: we're all human beings. There is a common courtesy that people have for one another, and we're not in the middle of the street getting into a scuffle, right? You come to our dealership. We're here to help you. We're here to accommodate you, and we have a process that we follow. And I make it very important that the guys understand that customers need to know that. The biggest downfall I see, like I go and buy a car myself, right? And I come in and I tell them a GSM of a store, and these guys still go, just another up, I'll blow them, So just some very simple things, just letting people know what's going to happen here today. Sean, let me explain to you, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to find out your wants and needs so I can assess the perfect vehicle for you. We're going to go for a test drive, make sure you love the car. When we come back, we'll sit down, I'll go through, run a few things, make sure all your questions are answered, and I'm going to get the car clean for you, right? So just a basic process. And I believe if people are not kept in the dark, they're going to open up much more to you and allow you to do your job.
Right. Absolutely fire stuff. Okay, so one of your cardinal rules is 100% TO. Give me a couple of your other rules that help you more than double your sales.
Process. The process is one of my things, and the atmosphere that we work in. I believe my biggest thing that I focus on day in and day out, not just in this dealership, my prior dealerships, is making sure that my people, when they come to work, they want to be here.
Absolutely.
And it was just too many people out there walking into work as they're driving saying, why the fuck am I doing this? I don't want. So my focus is to make it such a positive environment that my guys come in, Vlad, what's up? Let's go. And this is why we've been climbing the ladder, because we have that team, we have that drive, and I can say right now, throughout the 3 years, everything we worked for is paying off because every single person on the team has the same vision. So everyone has that motivation, everyone has that drive. They know the opportunity, and we all come together and crush it.
Now, I want you guys to hear this. This is crazy to me. The reason why I want this interview, the most reason right here. Vlad, let's tell them how many salespeople you had last month?
6 and a rookie.
Jesus Christ. Okay, so you had 6 people and a rookie to sell 187?
One rookie, and we let him start taking a few ups at the end just to help us.
But you had basically 6 people.
Yes, we're pretty much to the 6
over 180 cars, right? That averages out to about, like, was it 30 cars a piece?
It was over 30 cars.
So your entire floor averaged approximately 30 cars. You have a guy at the Sal that I'm gonna do a little interview with too. He was 1 month at the store. He sold 37 cars. 37 cars. Jesus. And you said that your salespeople averaged between $17,000 last month, and then the one guy $25,000. So listen, folks, we are not at a Lamborghini dealership. We're at a Kia dealership in New Jersey, in Freehold, and they're making heavy wood here. You know what I'm saying? So again, for you to be able to sell 30 cars with your entire floor staff and have your people eating, it has to be culture. I mean, like, why wouldn't you be high-fiving if you just brought in 17 stacks? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's not to be happy about? So tell us a little about the culture. Like, how are your salespeople working in this environment with the pandemic and, you know, like just dealing with this world right now that we're living?
Now, listen, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of strain with the whole social distancing and really the focus, my focus been since we came back in the beginning of May is let's not think about the pandemic. Let's think about the job that we get paid to do. Let's think about what we're here to do. Yeah. You know, we shut down in March and April, and to me it was devastating just not being able to come in and do what I do. So when we came back, we kind of put the pandemic to the side. So the biggest adjustment is test drives, and you know, in the road to the sale, test drive product presentation is one of the keys to really establishing that value of what we're selling. Absolutely. And building a rapport with the customer. And we lost that, you know. So it's critical right now, pre-test drive and post-test drive, to really touch on the value that we offer. Because the salesperson can't sit in the car and show them, hey, hit this button while we're driving. I ask them the personal questions that I believe should be asked when we're on a test drive. So I think that's been the biggest adjustment, and we're doing pretty good with it. So, you know, you've seen the numbers.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. So the next thing I want to find out is, what is your direction? Like, where do you want to take this place? Now that you've tasted this, you are a man that's more than doubled a dealership's monthly output, volume, revenue, etc. Where do you go from here?
We continue to grow. So the goal right now is 250 new and 60 to 80 used. That's the next.
So you really think that you're going to be able to take this store to over 300 cars?
I don't think. We'll be doing an interview next year talking about our 250 new.
That is so strong. I mean, and it's so amazing to just watch how this thing goes. You know what I mean? Like how somebody can just come in, influence a culture, sales. And at the end of the day, it's got to feel good, right? That you are creating a life for all of your employees. Everything that you do here directly affects how many employees in the organization? The
store sales service, I would say somewhere around 40-ish.
So that's 40 families. I mean, that means a lot. So much respect to you there. What advice would you give to first salespeople? I mean, like, you have a lot of experience, bro. You're a good car guy. So for new salespeople, I mean, for the record, this is how much I respect this dude. My daughter's boyfriend, you know, he just came in here and got a job. He starts, I think, next week, right? So again, shout out to Corey. So again, for someone like Corey, right? Someone that's brand new to the automotive industry, what would you love to have told yourself if you could go back in time? What are you going to tell Corey and all the new salespeople? What should they know about this business?
Stay open-minded. Learn and listen to the guys that done it, that been there, that had the experiences, that heard the 20, I have to go get my wife, or I'm in a rush, I got to run out, right. Or no, this doesn't work. Just listen to us and take our guide. You know, a lot of people in our industry, I think, have that ego mindset, and you can't. I believe if you're open-minded and you learn, and we're all going to make mistakes. I make mistakes. I've been doing 20-something years. I make mistakes today, I'll tell you right now. And the biggest thing is you learn from it, make sure you catch it the next time you're about to do it, and just grow.
All right, so that's strong. To recap, some of the other nuggets that we got is the 100% TO, process. Now, what about sales managers? Because we've had this conversation before. Your team, in my opinion, any sales team is only as good as the leadership team behind them. So what advice do you have for sales managers that are watching this?
You got to be a leader. You got to lead by example. You got to walk the walk. The biggest thing is we all want to, you got to do this, but the question is, would you do it yourself? You know what I mean? One of the biggest things I talk about with my guys, there's nothing in this dealership that I'm going to ask you to do that I personally won't get up and do, or personally haven't got up and already done. And the guys see it, and they know I lead by example. And that rubs off on managers, that rubs off on my finance team. I make sure I'm the first one here. I make sure I'm the last one out. And I have a family, I have a wife, I have kids, and I want to be there with them, but I know that the only way I'm going to get my team to the next level is by showing them that I'm the guy that's leading that.
Fire, brother, fire. I love car dealerships. So, closing question. Why do you love this industry so much?
I'm a car fanatic. That's it. You know that. You know. It's just what I love. There was a time in my career that I thought I didn't want to do this. I stepped away for about a year, and very fast I came back because, listen, some of us are just natural. We're born with it.
Yes.
And when I go in on it, listen, I don't have the TO deals. I'm the GSM. Right. I want a TO deals. Right. I make sure I love that stuff. Yes. I can't go without it. It gives me that rush. When the salesperson comes into me and says, I got nothing there. And then 15 minutes later, we're spotting them.
Absolutely.
So there's nothing more that gives me that drive to show them how we do it.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, Vlad. You ever watch Godfather 3? Okay, there's an episode where there's a scene in there when Michael Corleone says, "When I thought I was out, they pull you back in," right? Like, I've known so many great car people that have left the industry for fame, fortune, or frustration, and they come back because there's very few things in this world like the automotive industry where you could make as much money as you can earn. It's like the Wild Wild West. 100%. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so I'm gonna leave you to leave a closing statement out. So what do you want to say to the audience as you exit this interview?
Listen, thank you for coming down here and sitting down with me and going through our success, and just listen, to just never give up. There's always, if you believe in yourself, believe that there's something better, just keep pushing, you'll get there.
Do you like the content? You need to sign up for Bradley On Demand, the world's best virtual training platform in the entire automotive industry, with some of the top speakers, salespeople, and trainers, and over 5,000 training modules. You will sell more cars, more often, and more profitably. So sign up now at www.bradleyondemand.com.